What a match on Sunday when Papua New Guinea took on New Zealand in the Pacific Championships crossover challenge. The Papua New Guinea LNG Kumuls had the opportunity, if they had have beaten New Zealand, would have moved up into the Pacific Championships Cup challenge. And of course, New Zealand, if they had have lost to Papua New Guinea, would have been relegated down to the bowl challenge of the Pacific Championships. But things didn't work out for Papua New Guinea, who were underdogs and were quietly confident that they could cause an upset against New Zealand. Papua New Guinea had all the opportunities in the first half to put a good challenge to New Zealand, to have a good start, but could not score points. They could only score one try in the first half and another try in the second half. New Zealand dominated across the field and had a good defensive effort against Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea obviously couldn't take control of the game. Combank Stadium in Sydney looked quite empty, with a lot of Papua New Guineans that live down in Australia in Sydney mentioning that Tonga had bought up most of the tickets. Tonga were in the final of the Pacific Championships Cup Challenge and went down to Australia. So both matches were played, the final of the Pacific Championships Cup Challenge and the crossover challenge between Papua New Guinea and New Zealand were played in the same venue, but the PNG New Zealand match was after the Australian Tonga match. So a lot of Tongan fans had already left, so the stadium also looked quite empty. And of course, Papua New Guinea is one side that always looks forward to the crowd support. So it was quite disappointing. And of course, the second half performance by the team also was quite disappointing as well. It was a 10 tries to 2 win over the Kumuls by New Zealand. And Casey McLean had a field day against the Kumuls. Apart from being the opening try scorer of the match, he also scored a hat-trick in the second half, adding more pressure to the Kumuls. In the negative plays department, Papua New Guinea had 12 errors and conceded 9 penalties. Papua New Guinea made a total of 332 tackles, and they missed 31 tackles. You know, in a match like this, missing that amount of tackles will cost you, and it did cost Papua New Guinea. Top performing players category, Jeremiah Simbiken. What a workhorse. He made sure he took all the effort to make the most tackles in the match, 46 tackles in the match. And you also had Roderick Tai, who was impressive with 134 meters gained, the most in the Kumuls pack. PNG LNG Kumuls coach Jason Demetriou said a lot of things didn't go ahead as planned, and the loss of Robert Matthias at halftime caused more problems for the team.
We probably showed the Kiwis a little bit too much respect, I thought, early in the game, and then we started to get a foothold in the game, started getting a bit more belief about us, and disallowed try, probably bomb 2 as well, where we're dropping them or not attacking them over the line, and then they've gone up the other end. I thought the try just before half-time really took the sting out of us, and then we lost Rob Mattias at half-time. So that caused a bit of a reshuffle. But again, inside of that, I thought there were some really positive signs in and around our defence and our fight to keep competing. But yeah, I've said all along, these games are important to us so we can get a real gauge on where we're at. And individually we can get some good lessons out of it, and I thought that was probably the most important thing tonight.
Jason Demetriou added that there was a lot of lessons that the Kumuls needed to learn, especially in a high-level match against a top-tier side like the New Zealand Kiwis.
But there's levels to this game, and there's levels where you get to, and it's not about the physicality, it's about the mental fortitude and toughness, and to stay in the moment and own your role. And that's a massive learning curve for some boys out there tonight. You know, there's some players out there that own their role time and time again, like Skip here, but there's some that don't, and that was evident tonight. They're good lessons. They're good lessons for us to take.
PNG LNG Kumuls captain Rhys Martin, sporting a Kiwis jersey, said that Papua New Guinea needed to have more matches like this and learn from their mistakes going forward.
Yeah, I feel like we need more games like this. We got a group of players that are learning and working hard to be the best players they possibly can. And sometimes when you come up against the big guys, you can get a bit gun shy. And a lot of these blokes look up to them as idols, and have done for some time. And the coach has been just trying to just give the belief into the boys that they're just as good as everyone else that's playing out there on that field. And tonight, I'm just disappointed in the result, but overall out of this tournament, I think we've there's been some players that had their opportunities and probably uncovered some great talent and some potential and some players that can make a good career. And that's something that always happens every year on year playing for the Kumuls, is that there's one or two players that get their chance and they really grab it with two hands and they perform and show that they're capable to play at this level. So it's tonight the result's disappointing, but I've got full confidence in this team that we're going to keep growing and chasing to be the best team that we possibly can.
Despite the heavy-handed loss suffered by Papua New Guinea at the hands of New Zealand, Papua New Guinea LNG Kumuls coach Demetriou is optimistic going forward and said he learned much and has much more respect towards Papua New Guinea's effort to build the game of rugby league here in Papua New Guinea in preparation for a team to head into the NRL, and also in preparation for the 2026 World Cup that Papua New Guinea is likely to host with Australia.
You got a committed group of people that are passionate about what rugby league can do in PNG, and the Kumuls are at the forefront of that. And like I said, we're disappointed that we couldn't put in a better performance tonight, or a better second half, I should say. I thought the first half was excellent, but again, there's a journey that the PNG RFL and the bid are on, and the Kumuls are going to be the forefront of that journey.